The hypervigilant, the lie of the hypervigilant is that in order for you to protect yourself and your loved ones, you have to be always anxious and nervous and look at dangers that come from anywhere. So you're constant, it has you be always anxious in order to be most protective. It has you be always afraid and anxious and look at everything that goes on so that you'll be most protective. And to tell you how that's a lie, how you can be much more protective if you're in the sage vigilant mode. So the sage vigilance is awesome, but the saboteur hypervigilance is not, right? So let me tell you how that works. So let's say that there's a village behind me, and that village is right by the outskirts of the woods, thickly wooded forest, and in this forest there are dangerous tigers, and the village has asked me to protect the village by making sure that I tell the village when a tiger is emerging from the woods so that I raise the alarm and I protect the villagers from the tigers, okay? So let's say I'm hypervigilant and trying to do this task. If I'm hypervigilant at 6 in the morning, I'm looking around and really anxious throughout the day, and so I'm saying, oh my God, there's a tiger, oh my God, there's a tiger, oh my God, there's a tiger. Every time the tree shakes, I see a tiger. And a lot of times the tree is shaking just because there's wind. A lot of times the tree is shaking just because a bird has taken off. But because I am so anxious, I am not seeing clearly enough. I'm not seeing the difference between a tree shaking from wind with a different pattern than when the tree shakes from a bird, or when it actually shakes because of a tiger. So now by 2 p.m., first of all, I've said, oh my God, a tiger, so many times that the villagers have stopped listening to me or trusting me. So at 2 p.m., when an actual tiger is emerging, I am just too exhausted to notice it. And even if I notice it and say tiger, nobody's going to hear me. So now contrast that with the Jedi mind, kind of a sage in vigilance mode. So in sage mode, I'm going to stand there at 6 a.m., calm, doing PQ-ups on the trees, really seeing, really hearing, totally relaxed and calm. And I'm scanning the trees and totally seeing the shake of the wind, very different from the shake of the birds. And then when a tiger emerges at 2 p.m., I'm going to say, yeah, tiger, and everybody's going to be protected. So the hypervigilant, being constantly anxious and in fear, does not protect you nearly as much as calm, clear-headed, laser-focused sage, which comes from PQ wrapping and comes from trusting your sage a lot more than the hypervigilant.